All right, guys, everybody, welcome, welcome. We're going to be talking today about self-investment, and this one, honestly, I was planning on talking about something else today, but some stuff came up, and I decided this is going to be a good topic to bring to you all today. So, self-investment. But before we get into the show, make sure that, again, if you've been following the show, if you've gotten value from the show, share it with a friend, share it with a coach, share it with a teammate, share it with someone who is going to benefit from this message. The goal, as always, is to help athletes build their dream careers, help athletes level up, and actually see their true potential. Now, self-investment is literally the number one thing that is going to help you do this. And we're going to talk about a few things related to that. And we're going to talk about ways that you can start investing in yourself in order to start reaching these new levels in your career. Now, let's get going. 3, 2, 1. Welcome, everybody, to another episode of the Elite Development Podcast, the number one show for athletes looking to gain an edge on their opponents and build their dream careers in sport. I'm your host, Kenny Dusseault, and today we are talking about self-investment. Now, the reason we're talking about this one, honestly, just popped up within the last hour or so. A coach on my team sent me a message from an athlete that he'd been talking to online who asked for free coaching, said, I can't pay, but is there a way for me to do it without money? To which my coach replied with a perfect reply of, no, we don't coach people for free because we understand the value that we deliver to our athletes, which is exactly what you should reply if you're a coach listening to this and someone's asking you for free training. And then the reply back is what got me. Excuse me 1 second. I'm going to just get my Facebook page down so that we don't keep getting interrupted here. All right. There we go. Sorry for that little interruption. So, like I was saying, athlete reached out to the coach asking for free training. Coach replied back, we don't do that because we understand the value we deliver to our athletes and it is worth the price that we have put on it. Reply back is what got me. And the reply that this athlete delivered to my coach is that a joke? So let's talk about this. The coaching is what this man does for a living. He has spent thousands of dollars bettering himself, bettering his coaching knowledge, bettering his business, and he's expected in this situation to just give that all away for free. And guys, why is that an expectation that so many athletes have? I can't tell you the amount of times I've had athletes approach me and say, well, why don't you just coach me for free? And I'm like, well, because I have bills to pay and good vibes don't pay my fucking rent. And it's a weird thing where as the coach, I almost feel like an asshole saying that. I almost feel bad saying, no, I'm not going to deliver you my 15 years of experience, everything in my brain, the hundreds of thousands of dollars I've spent on certifications, continuing education, and more for free. And it's a weird expectation that so many athletes have. And it's a weird thing in our industry that coaches are almost just expected to do it. And yeah, in the beginning, you can toss some deals, build yourself a name by bringing clients in the door at cheaper rates, etc. But I want to really talk about that. I want to really dig into that today because honestly, think about it this way. If you're an athlete listening to this and you're thinking, who is this guy saying that high-level athletes should have to pay for training? If you're an athlete listening to this, think about let's say, in this case, it was a hockey player. So let's say the NHL came to this player and said, hey, we want you to keep playing. Whatever team they're playing for in the NHL comes to them, says, hey, we want you to keep playing, but we're not going to pay you. Would you just keep playing for free? What about the bills you have to pay? How do you, pay off your mortgage? How do you buy your fucking hockey equipment? How do you put food on your table? How do you support your family if you're just playing for free? And of course, the NHL would never do that. And athletes would never be expected to do it for free. But there's this weird expectation from so many athletes that coaches will just do it for free. Oh, come on, man, just help me out. Just coach me for free. Why? What benefit are you providing that other people won't be able to provide? that are actually going to pay money for the services being delivered. So your unwillingness to invest in a coach or invest in yourself or invest in your future, imagine it that way. The team that you're playing for, that's supposed to pay you millions of dollars, turns to you and says, hey, keep playing, but we're not going to pay you anymore. You fucking walk. And fair enough, as you should. Right? So the next thing that I really want to get into there is I want you to understand, if you're an athlete listening to this again and you feel like, you're entitled to coaches just falling all over you, throwing you free services all the time, I want you to understand what you're actually asking for. Strength and conditioning work is not just a workout program. If you're working with a good coach, if you're working with myself, with the people in my company, with a lot of other good coaches that I've known over the years, what you're actually asking for is you're asking a coach to deliver all of their knowledge. So as an example for me, I started coaching when I was 15 years old in powerlifting. I helped multiple athletes reach national championships in powerlifting. Then I came to university. I spent time working with the Montreal Alouettes as a professional football team. I got mentored by a guy who is now one of the head people in the National Strength and Conditioning Association in the United States. I also spent time working with the football, basketball, soccer, rugby teams and more, if I remember correctly, but it's been a while since I was there. After that, I got a degree in sports studies, focusing in on athletic development with a minor in sports psychology, which was 4 years plus of university that cost me well over $40,000. After that, I moved into a job in Ottawa, where that actually ended up bringing me to Calgary. So I moved across the country to work at a gym under a number of other like PhD coaches. And so again, that much more experience in that way as well. But the main thing that I want to get across with that, and then since then as well, I've actually traveled to Australia for a conference, learning from some of the highest level people in my industry. I'm going to Salt Lake City later this year to continue to do that. I've hired mentors that I've spent thousands upon thousands upon thousands of dollars on to help me better my coaching knowledge, better my business, better my leadership abilities, better my ability to deliver a high level product. And then on top of that, I've hired business mentors to help me learn how to better run a business so that I can spend less of my energy on the back end of the business and more of my energy actually pouring into clients. Now, I don't even want to try to tally up the amount of money I've spent or the amount of hours I've spent or the amount of sleepless nights I've spent, because that's not what this is really about. But that is what you're asking a coach to deliver you for free, not a workout program. You're asking them to take the last however many years of their life, however many hundreds of thousands of dollars that they've invested in their future, and just give it to you in exchange for nothing. And so I want you to really think about that the next time you push for somebody to just deliver you free services. Now, on that note, I do want to state that I understand not everybody has unlimited budgets. Not everybody can just pay for this kind of stuff. And I empathize with that. That's why I've created a number of different options in my own programs that drop as low as $97 a month. And I'm actually working on an even lower price point than that. Now, obviously, the more you invest, the more you get, but giving people the option to get high quality work for less money, because I empathize with that. I understand people don't have unlimited money. But what I want to really state with that as well is, again, understand that you're not just asking for a workout program, you're asking to basically tap into this person's brain, this person's experience, everything they've ever worked on in exchange for nothing. So if you're going to come to a coach and you're going to ask for something like that for free with no response, with no follow-up, understand what you're asking for. Now, that's very different than, as an example, I had someone recently come to me and say, I have access to this large team that all desperately needs strength and conditioning work. So what I'd like to do is, if you're open to it, work out a deal with you where I can get you working with all these other athletes on my team, but then I'd be able to come in and work with you as well. And so that now, instead of just being like, hey, I want free shit because I'm an athlete, so, give me free shit, this person came to me and said, hey, I understand that what you do is worth a lot of money. I understand that what you do is worth the value that you charge for it. Instead of me just straight up giving you the money, how about we work out this other deal that has massive potential upside for you? You guys see how that's different? Give me free shit versus, hey, here's all the things that I can do for you in exchange for some free shit. And obviously, he worded it a little nicer than free shit, but you get what I'm saying, right? You're not just coming out and asking for something in exchange for nothing. You're saying, here's what I can do for you. Would you be willing to work something out? And in that case, absolutely. We're working on that deal right now. And within the next couple of months, we should have some, really good return for me, really good return for the athlete. Everybody wins. Now, the last thing I really wanted to touch on with this topic of self-investment is, guys, it is your responsibility to invest in yourself. I want you to think about this too. You want results that very few people in the world have. You want to be a world champion athlete. You want to be a professional. You want to make millions of dollars competing in a sport. And you're not willing to invest money in a coach to help you do that. You want the service, but you're not willing to put skin in the game. How are you expecting that you're going to reach those kind of levels when you're not willing to put skin in the game? How are you expecting that, you're magically going to reach the top, you're magically going to be the best in the world when you're not willing to get uncomfortable to get there? You're not willing to, tighten up the bootstraps, make sure that you're, not spending quite as much money in other areas so that you can afford the coaching that you need. Does that make sense? Because I can tell you from personal experience, even growing a business, I remember for the first 3 years of starting my business, I had this impression in my mind where it was like I had to do it all myself, spend as little money as possible, just tighten up, don't invest in anything, cheaper the better. And I fucking struggled. I was getting by, but barely. And then eventually, I don't know how he did it, but my business coach convinced me, join this business coaching program. Well, actually, how he did it was he made the offer absolutely fucking unbelievable. And I knew that I had to give it a shot. I gave that business coaching program a shot. And at this point, I've paid those guys at least like $40,000 or $50,000. And as soon as I gave that business coaching program a shot, my business skyrocketed. Why? Because one, I was paying fucking attention to everything I was being told to do because I just invested more money than I could really afford at the time to do it. Number two, these guys had experience in these areas that I didn't have. So if you're an athlete, listen to this and you're like, oh, I just figure out my own strength and conditioning. Well, I got news for you. The whole time that you're figuring out your own strength and conditioning, I am learning strength and conditioning. The whole time that you're training in your sport, I am learning strength and conditioning. The whole time that you're pretty much doing anything related to your sport, I am learning strength and conditioning and applying strength and conditioning methods because that is literally all I do. So yes, you can figure it out yourself and you can get some good results, but if you truly want to rise above the rest, investing in someone who has experiences that you don't, that can help push you towards the goals that you have, is the answer. And when I say I'm not speaking specifically only me. There are other coaches out there too, guys. If you don't vibe with my energy, that's fucking fine. But understanding that you need to invest in yourself, understanding that you need to do something that other people aren't willing to do. Because everyone is going to sit out there and say, oh yeah, I'll just figure it out myself. But the one who rises above the pack is the one who invests in that coach to help them move further. So it's not a coach trying to sell you on a program. It's your fucking responsibility. If you actually want to make those dreams come true, if you actually want to reach those levels that you say you want to reach, you have to be willing to put skin in the game that other people aren't willing to put in. You have to be willing to make the investments that other people aren't willing to make. You have to be willing to do the things that other people aren't willing to do if you want the results that other people don't have. So you can sit here and you can say, this guy's a dick, he's just trying to make a sale, he's this, he's that. That's fine. Have the opinion of me that you want. But when the athletes that are going above and beyond, investing in themselves, going the extra mile, start surpassing you, Don't come crying about it. Understand that you fucked up and understand that now it's time to start taking action on that. So everybody, the biggest thing I want you guys to get out of this is investing in yourself, investing in your career, investing in your future is not optional at this point. If you want the results that other people don't have, you need to be willing to make the sacrifices that others aren't willing to make. You need to be willing to make the investments that others aren't willing to make. And if money's tight, you need to be willing to figure out a way to make investments in yourself that others aren't willing to make. So I appreciate you. I hope you got some value from this. I hope it triggered some thoughts in you. If you did, I'd love to know what it was. Make sure to drop a review on the podcast. Make sure to shoot me a message. Let me know what you were able to take away. I appreciate you all. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I'll catch you on the next episode.